Welcome everyone. In this session, let us see how the generators can be protected against faults. So, generators fall into the category of rotating machines. So, other rotating machines which are available are motors, condensers, induction motors. So, this protection of the rotating machine is very important, and it is somewhat difficult compared to your normal electrical equipment. That is because this has many rotating parts, and the mechanical devices are there which will be subjected to a fault most frequently compared to the other electrical equipments. So, we can use electromechanical type or static relay or numerical relays for the protection of these generators. You can use one type along with the other type to act other type of protection scheme so that it acts as a backup protection. So, coming to this protection of generators, so generators we know it has an excitation system, it has a voltage regulator, it has a prime mover, cooling system. So, this protection becomes very difficult because we need to take care of each and every components in the generator. So, it is somewhat difficult compared to the protection of a normal electrical equipment. So, and moreover, these generators will be subjected to more faults than any other electrical equipment. That is why the protection scheme is categorized into three. That is, first is protection of the stator, second one is protection of rotor, and the third one is overall protection of the generator. So, first one coming to the stator protection. In the stator protection, we have percentage differential protection, protection against stator interturn faults, and stator overheating protection. Whereas, while we see the protection of rotors, we have field ground fault, loss of excitation, and protection against rotor overheating because of unbalanced three-phase stator currents. And coming to the overall protection of the generators, it is over voltage, over speed, protection against motoring, protection against vibration, bearing overheating protection, protection against auxiliary failure, protection against voltage regulator failure. So, in this video particularly I am focusing on stator protection. Rotor protection and miscellaneous protection will be explained in the next video. So, first we will have the first of its kind in the stator protection, that is percentage differential protection. You can observe this is the schematic diagram of a percentage differential protection. So, this type of protection scheme is especially used for the protection of generators above 1 megawatt. Okay. So, this protection scheme, this setup will protect the generator against winding faults, that is face to face and face to ground faults. So, this kind is also called as biased differential protection, or it is a longitudinal differential protection scheme. And if you observe, the polarities of these CTs are most important. Okay, the polarities of the CTs are most important, and you can see it is a three phase, and you have two coils. One is called as the bias coil and the other one is called as the operating coil. So, the operating coil is connected across the wires, that is the pilot wires. So if in the operating coil, the current sent by the upper CT, this is upper CT, okay, the current which is sent by the upper CT will get cancelled by the current which is sent by the lower CT. So, you can observe here the current which is flowing through this operating coil, one is in one direction and the other one is in other direction. That is, this current, if it is written as IA dash, this current flowing here is IA. So, the current which is flowing through this operating coil is IA minus IA dash. So, it is the difference of the currents which is flowing from the upper CT and lower CT. So if this differential current flowing through the operating coil is 0, then the relay will not operate. Okay. For an internal fault, the polarity of the secondary voltage will be changed. So you can observe in this figure, there is a fault occurred in this winding, okay, in A phase if you say, and the polarity of the CT compared to the first one. See here the top is plus and minus, here it is reverse. That is due to the fault which has occurred in this winding. So that is why the polarity gets reversed. In that case, you observe the direction of the current. IA gets added up with IA dash. That means the current is not equal to 0. It is a value which is greater than 0, which in turn will make the relay to operate. Okay. So for any internal faults, the relay will operate due to the current which is flowing through the operating coil. So this percentage differential protection will not respond to any faults which occur externally or on overloaded condition. Okay, it will provide protection against phase to phase, that is protection against winding faults, phase to phase and phase to ground faults. And when it comes to phase to ground faults, it provides only 80 to 85% of the protection. Okay, it will not protect the entire generator winding against phase to ground fault. Only 80 to 85% of the winding, generator winding is protected. So that is because it will not provide 100% protection to the generator winding because of the magnitude of the earth fault current which is flowing. So as that is why we go for some other methods to protect against the phase to ground faults. So under normal operating conditions also, sometimes the CTs, the current flowing in the upper CT and the lower CT might not be same. There might be a slight chance that this difference might be greater than 0 even under normal operating condition. In that case, what will happen? The relay will operate. Okay, so that is that needs to be avoided. That is why this bias coil or the restraining coil is provided. So in order to avoid the malfunctioning of the relay, in order to improve the stability as well, you provide with this restraining coil or the bias coil. So in that case, the relay is set to operate not at some pickup value, but a certain percentage of the through current or the current, that is average current. So this bias coil will be set in terms of its ratio, that is number of windings, and will be expressed in terms of percentage. Okay. So the setting of the bias coil, it varies from 5% to 50%, and that of the operating coil, it varies from 10% to 100% of the full load current. So in the case of stator faults, the tripping of the circuit breaker to isolate the faulty generator is not sufficient to further damage, as the generator will still continue to supply the power to the fault. So therefore, what you do is the percentage differential relay, it will initiate an auxiliary relay which in turn trips the main circuit breaker and shuts down the prime mover and the turns, and it generates an alarm. So that is how you can observe how the generator is damaged. Okay. Next is a restricted earth fault protection by a differential relay. So this is again a percentage differential protection type. Here, when we have the neutral directly grounded, if in case the neutral is directly grounded, we can provide the 100% protection for the generator winding. But here if you observe, the neutral is not directly grounded, but it is in turn connected, it is in turn grounded through a resistance. So that is to limit the ground fault currents. So with the resistance grounding provided, that is with the resistance connected between the neutral and the ground, it is not possible to protect 100% of the generator winding. We can protect only 80 to 85% of the generator winding against ground fault. So remaining 15 to 20% is left unprotected. So if you observe this figure, for phase to ground fault, the relay setting for the differential protection is determined by the value of the neutral grounding resistor and whatever percentage of the winding is to be protected. So if in case a ground fault occurs at this point, which is F, then the voltage VFN is available to drive the ground fault current, that is IF, through the neutral to ground. Okay, so if the fault point, that is F, is nearer to the neutral point, the force voltage, that is VFN, will be very less, else it will be more. So if VFN is less, the ground fault current, that is IF, will also be less. So we should see to that the relay is not very sensitive. Okay, so if the relay is made too sensitive, it might respond even for the external faults which is occurring. So that is why the generator winding, only around 80 to 85% of the generator winding will be provided with the phase to ground fault protection. So if you observe here, if we say that P% of the winding is left unprotected by the protection scheme, then 100 minus P% of the winding will be protected. So in that case, the ground fault current IF will be given by P into V by 100 into Rn. So where with this Rn is the resistance which is connected from the neutral to ground. Okay, P is what percentage of winding is unprotected. V is the line to neutral voltage. So for the operation of the relay, the fault current, whatever is there flowing in the windings, it must be greater than the relay pickup current. So next we'll see how a percentage differential protection can be achieved for a star connected generator. So this is the setup protection. This is the setup of the protection scheme which is employed for a star connected generator. So star connected generator, what we have a neutral point, right? So only the neutral point is brought out, and you can see that the restraining coil connection and the operating coil connection is made this way compared to having three different operating coils. You will have one operating coil and three restraining coils which are connected to each of the three windings of the CTs. So now this particular protection scheme, this particular setup will protect only against the ground faults. Okay, it will not operate against phase faults. It provides protection only against the ground faults. So now we'll see how the generator can be protected against stator interturn faults. So now we have already seen a longitudinal percentage differential protection. This longitudinal percentage differential protection does not detect the stator interturn faults. So to detect the stator interturn faults, we need a transverse arrangement. So transverse percentage differential protection. So this is the transverse differential protection. So which protects the generator against stator interturn faults. So in this, the protection, in this type of protection, the generators having parallel windings separately, they are brought out, okay, to the terminals. Say especially the hydro generators which has a parallel windings in each phase, those particular type of generators use this protection scheme. Okay, so this protection scheme is also called as, this arrangement is also called as a split phase protection. So you can see these are the generator windings and you have the operating coil as well as the restraining coil. So the operating and you have these common connected to the ground, and you have 3 terminals brought out, that is A, B and C terminals. So this type of protection is very good if you have parallel windings which are run, and even this can be slightly modified in order to protect these generators against interturn faults based on the zero sequence component. So under normal operating conditions, there is no zero sequence voltage which exists in the system. In case there is a fault, or in case one or more turns of a phase are short circuited, then we have the zero sequence component. So, and that zero sequence component which generate an EMF, we need a suitable voltage transformer which is used to extract the zero sequence component. So for that, even we can make the protection scheme to operate. Next, coming to the last type of stator protection, that is stator overheating protection. In this, the overheating of the stator might usually be caused due to failure in the cooling system, or overloading, or short circuit in the laminations, or the failure of the insulation. So in this type, we have actually 2 methods to detect the overheating. So both which is used by large generators. Okay, large generators with the rating of about 2 megawatt. So in one of the methods, the inlet and the outlet temperatures are compared. Okay, so overheating, inlet temperature and the outlet temperature is compared. So in the other method, the temperature sensing elements are used in the stator slots to sense the temperature. So you can observe here, this is the protection scheme which is used. So when what happens is, when the temperature exceeds a certain preset maximum temperature, the relay will sound an alarm. So this uses a Wheatstone's bridge arrangement, okay, for this. So the temperature sensing element, it can have either a thermistor, or you can have thermocouples or resistance temperature indicator. So these temperature sensing elements will be embedded in the stator slots at different locations. So whenever the temperature exceeds the preset temperature, the relay is going to operate. So for small generators, we will have a bimetallic strip which gets heated up by the secondary current of the CT. So in case there is a failure of the cooling system, this type of relay is not going to operate. So even we can measure the rotor temperature, but the rotor temperature monitoring is somewhat difficult compared to that of the stator temperature monitoring. So next video will let us see a rotor protection and miscellaneous protection. Thank you.